Similar things, okay. Kubernetes control plane, this is the worker plane, but the previous one was a little bit better, okay. So we have, let's see, self-healing is important, okay, and because it's an important feature in Kubernetes architectures as well. In order to have a self-healing, we need to have a good monitoring system. That's something that you need to know. Horizontal and vertical scaling is important. These are the same thing, that's why I'm just passing, okay. And this is the last one. It covers also a lot of things, but also a good demo, as you might remember. So what is the Kubernetes? Key features of Kubernetes, Kubernetes architecture, Kubernetes objects, benefits. These are important, sorry for that, okay. Common use cases we have covered already. Some Kubernetes tool, that's okay. Well, this is containerized application deployment with Kubernetes. Now we come back to the Docker. How you build the Docker image. Create a Docker file, build the image, and run the container. You know the commands of them. Docker networking volumes, that's okay. So we have this orchestration, underneath we have this self-healing, and also we have this declarative deployment. So this is a good one, how to deploy your applications on Kubernetes, okay, step by step. They have explained a lot of things. Choose the deployment method, local environment, self-hosted or managed Kubernetes services, and then you configure the environment. Let me see if it is written over here. Okay, for example, here we have these, add the necessary kernel parameters for kernel Kubernetes networking to the kubernetes.conf. Okay, we have a configuration file in OpenStack. We have a configuration file in Docker, and we have a configuration file in Kubernetes. Please be aware of these configuration files, okay? Because these are the things that you are going to take a look at, okay? First, do some modifications. And here, for example, the required kernel module for Kubernetes, that's the container daemon dot configuration, Kubernetes.configuration. That's for the networking, okay? So you install the container daemon, runtime, you install the Kubernetes, And then you start the Kubernetes cluster. And then you can see that they are up and running over here with this Kubernetes control get nodes functions. Okay, so at least you know this command, at least from Kubernetes. Well, I'm aware that you can follow these steps from the ChatGPT or from the installation files, no problem. But at least you have an idea about what the Kubernetes command looks like. I want you to have one or two, which is one of them is this one, okay? Commands that from each technology, Kubernetes, or from each product, Kubernetes, Docker, and OpenStack. And this was the demo, scaling an application using Kubernetes, okay? It was a very good one. We have covered this horizontal pod auto-scaling, HPA. They covered a little bit of how to install the Docker, just mentioned actually. And then the level of, CPU cores and memory and so on and so forth. And then we have this kube control, CLI, the interface, that's okay. This is the application actually counting up to 1 million, which produce loads on CPU, a simple one. This is the YAML file, Docker file, that actually that's the containerizes our application. Okay, Docker build and Docker push, and then we run. Well, this is the deployment.yaml is an important one, and in this one we are actually stating, as you see, these are the three different pieces of the same file, okay? And we are in this YAML file, as it is declarative, okay? As you see over here, we are actually defining some parameters, okay? We are specifying the ports, protocol, and then over here, we are providing the limits, the capacity, those kinds of things. So be aware of this deployment YAML file as well. I'm not going to go, of course, the details. What is this 500 or 5,000 milli CPU, so on and so forth. It's just about the general idea. So there are different tools. Prometheus is one of them, Metrics server another one. So for this purpose, Metrics server is required for HPA demo. And what is HPA? We have covered this so many times. I asked it during the class again. Okay. Let me show it. This is it, horizontal pod scaling. So we are trying to increase our pods with respect to the increased number of the traffic, or increases the load of the traffic. Okay, so at least it is not the scope of the course, but at least to have you being aware of this HPA concept, okay, just keep in mind that for these kinds of HPA demo, we needed to use this Kubernetes metric server. Okay. And in this one, our colleague, I believe, if I remember correctly, Ibrahim explained very neatly. First, manual replications. Okay, we were trying to figure out to load balance the appropriate number of the pods to replicate, but it was not that easy. Okay, so as you see, it took some time for us to figure out the appropriate numbers. But on the other side, we define our requirements to the system, Kubernetes, automatically, and it takes auto-scale application, takes it automatically, and establish the pods for us. As you see over here, automatically it has done this one. Otherwise, it would take some time for us to find the appropriate number of replicas and so on and so forth. So the system is doing it even in a very simple program, demo program, quite significantly. Do it automatically. So we define how we configure it and tailor this HPA with respect to our needs. So this shows how Kubernetes is actually powerful in terms of configuring the resources. Okay, so that's about it.